emergency, hang up and dial 911. To report an immediate threat or incident, press 1. If you represent a law enforcement agency, press 2. If you represent a financial institution and are calling to report a bank robbery, press 3. To provide a tip on criminal or suspicious activity, press 4. For internet-related crimes and to submit a complaint, go to W. Hello. Thank you for calling the FBI.
Watch this shit.
This is not a 911 service for taking emergency calls. For emergencies, please call 911.
Si usted desea escuchar este mensaje en español, por favor oprima el número 1.
Someone you know are having suicide, experiencing crisis, or seeking resources, press 1.
I'm being tortured by the federal government. So I'm calling the federal government. Let's see what they got to say. My first name is Cliff. My last name is Fu. And I'm being tortured under the guise of National Security Agency by a bunch of satanic faggots, cowards, criminals, local criminals through Baltimore City Detention Center that work for the FBI. So let's call their bosses and see what they got to say.
Red flag laws that restrict individuals from having firearms based on the belief they are a danger to themselves or others. Your local law enforcement agency may have more information on these.
Let's call the faggot cops that actually work right with the FBI and these corrupt so-called coon thugs that are really faggots. And let's see what they got to say.
Information to assist in investigating your tip. You do not have to provide your name or other personal information.
I'm going to give them my name. I'm going to give them everything they want so you know who you're talking to. Because I'm sick of these bitches torturing me.
To report a tip on an FBI case currently highlighted in the news, press 1. To report a tip about a threat to human life, serious bodily injury, significant violent action, or threats to national security, press 2.
Let's press 2 because they're using national security to kill my ass by what is known as cyber torture.
Please provide the zip code of the area you are calling from now. I'm sorry, we did not get your response. One moment while I transfer you to the next available representative. Your call will now be recorded.
Good, go ahead, record it because I'm recording your ass too.
Your expected wait time is less than 5 minutes.
The federal government is torturing me under the guise of national security. They run secret societies and satanic cults through the prison industrial complex. I'm a victim of cyber torture and genocide. My body is being radiated, tortured, pressurized, and gassed. So I'm calling the FBI themselves and see what they got to say about this as they attack and torture and murdering civilians and inducing artificial hiccups, gassing my body and everything else. First name Cliff, last name Fu. They run human trafficking rings through Baltimore City Detention Center and organized crime and sex trafficking rings also. And they also work with the corrupt police. So let's expose these people and see what they gotta say.
Press 1 to learn how to submit a tip online. After the instructions are provided, your call will be disconnected.
I just want to see what the feds got to say themselves. Being as though these criminals work with corrupt police and FBI, they saying he got to hit him and everything else. Oh, okay, that's fine. Well, we're going to expose the crimes that you're using doing to innocent people, and the federal government and the police involved in kidnappings, torture, psychiatry fraud, and attacking civilians with electromagnetic weapons by satellite, while along human trafficking and enslaving and controlling their families, using them as agents of the state to try to cover up systematic corruption and genocide. I'm gonna tell the FBI that themselves, and they do raping, kidnappings, beating, and psychiatry fraud.
Thank you for calling the FBI. Can I get the spelling of your first name, please?
Sure, it's Cliff, CLIFF.
CLIFF?
That's correct, FF.
Last name, please?
Few, FEW.
FEW?
Sure, yes. F is a Frankie W.
I didn't hear what you said, sir. Can you repeat it for me?
First name Cliff, last name Few, FEW.
Okay, and your date of birth?
11/22/84.
11/22/1984. What's your phone number?
410-404-1546.
410-404-1546.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that a cell phone?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and your zip code 34230.
That's correct.
What's the crime you're calling to report to the FBI today?
Me fraudulently being placed on the terrorist watch list when I'm a law-abiding citizen and being tortured under the guise of the National Security Administration. So I'm calling a report on the government about their own crimes and seeing whatever I can do and what's their reason. And, this was pretty much rooted. Go ahead, excuse me.
You were fraudulently placed on the terrorist watch list?
Yes, I believe so. Cyber torture is recognized by the United Nations, and these are war crimes being committed by the government themselves against innocent.
Hold on for 1 second.
Sure.
How do you know that you were placed on the terrorist watch list?
Because I am being attacked by satellite under the guise of the National Security Administration by a bunch of criminals employed through the prison industrial complex, Baltimore City Detention
Who are you
Center.
being attacked by?
By satellite, by criminals under the guise of NSA. We know that they try to do psychiatry fraud. We know that they use voice to skull. They're a patent for all the technology, and it's been going on with not only me but hundreds of thousands of American citizens. So I'm just tired of being tortured under the guise of the National Security Administration and by criminals and crooks that work directly with local corrupt police and FBI agents. I'm not saying that all FBI agents are corrupt because I know they're not. But what I'm saying is
Go
ahead.
ahead. I'm going to get this information documented for you. Thank you for calling.
Oh, you gonna hang up on me? I was recording a phone call. You see what they did, y'all? And she hung up on me. My first name is Cliff Food. This just shows that they know they torturing people. And she put my name on the list. I don't give a damn if the police know or the FBI know. That's why I made this video. But I made this video also to show y'all that this is what they doing to law-abiding citizens. Police involved, FBI involved. They already know who I am. They torture people, murder people. They're involved in satanic cults through the prison industrial complex. They're involved in kidnappings, beatings, rape, psychiatry fraud. They've been torturing me for decades, and I don't give a damn. Yes, they use what's called voice to skull, synthetic telepathy. They human traffic through the prison industrial complex. They mentally enslave our family members and use them as agents of the state and use them to sacrifice their own relatives. First name Cliff, last name Few, FEW. You have law-abiding, good so-called FBI agents or former FBI agents, such as General Soulsby exposing crimes like this. You have Kevin Shipp. You have all these federal agents exposing federal crimes being committed by the federal government. Infighting, right? So when you call them and you tell them about their own crimes and the federal government essentially committing a Holocaust and genocide, brainwashing, manipulating, controlling, and enslaving our families, they say they take your information and they hang up on you. Yes, the Federal Bureau of Investigation is involved in kidnapping, psychiatry fraud, torture, rape, beating, and murder. And these little faggot ass dudes work for them that are in secret societies through the prison industrial complex. My targeting came from Baltimore City Detention Center, where they had a bunch of bitches, faggots. They went over and got butt broke. How do I know that? Because I've been there, okay? And they illegally implanted me, tortured me, okay? Then when I went to expose their crimes against them, they fraudulently placed me on a terrorist watch list. Now they're torturing me by what is known as cyber torture by the United Nations of committing genocide. This is not only happening in America, but these are global war crimes happening globally. If you could see this message, please share it with anybody you can, because this is what they're trying to cover up. Their so-called New World Order. They want you to become a faggot. They're a bunch of cowards, and I hope they get blown the fuck off the map. Why? Because they're corrupt. Politicians involved, family members involved. They torture me. I'll never become a faggot. I'd rather die. These some sick, mentally deranged, weak bastards. First name Clip, CLIFF, last name Few. Thank you. If you could, please share this message, because if you're not a targeted individual or a victim of cyber torture, guess what? You will be one, okay? Silent Holocaust and complete systematic cover-up. Share this with as many people as you can. If you can, download it. I'm sick of these bitches, and I'm sick of being tortured.